overview, LIO-V has a Tuvatu high-grade alkaline hosted gold project in Fiji. It's fully permitted, it's ready to mine, it's in a premier location and a very mining positive jurisdiction. The company currently has $17 million in cash, and it has a tier 1 asset, which is really good for, obviously, for a junior. It has an alkaline hosted high-grade gold project, and the important thing is nearly all alkaline mineralised systems in the world end up being world-class. So just summarising LIO-V from an investor point of view, we currently have just under 18 million shares outstanding, 15 million warrants that are due in April that are priced at $1.20. The current share price is about $1.70. 6 million options, so 139 million shares fully diluted. The market cap of the company is currently around $200 million, and as I said before, we have $17 million in the bank at the moment, and that's all Canadian dollars. We're listed on the TSX, the ASX, and the OTC. So Tuvatu sits in Fiji on the Pacific Rim of Fire. You're all familiar with that, I think. And the Pacific Rim of Fire, as you know, hosts many of the world-class gold deposits, as you can see there. And I'd like you to take note particularly of Porgera, Lihir and Vatakula, which I'm going to mention briefly again in a minute. Alkaline systems around the world, there's a number of provinces around the world. Whenever these are strongly mineralised, they invariably host world-class deposits. And all of these deposits are held by majors apart from Tuvatu. You have Porgera, you have Lihir, you have Vatakula, all which are plus 10 or even plus 20 or 40 million ounces. Tuvatu is in the very early stages, but at the moment has around 1 million ounces of high-grade gold. Tuvatu sits on the western side of the main island of Fiji. In a series, there's a lineament running there through this area here of about 4.5 million year old volcanic centres. To the north, about 40 kilometres, or to the northeast, is Vatakula, which has been one of the oldest mines in the South Pacific. It has around 11 million ounces of gold in mined and existing resources. And Tuvatu sits about 40 kilometres to the southwest in the next mineralised caldera. All of these mineralised calderas, all of these calderas along this lineament in Fiji, all host mineralisation. This is the NAVILAWA caldera, showing the outline, and the main target areas in brown and orange there, the main mineralised area. So the mining lease is outlined in blue and the exploration licence all surrounding it. One of the important things that happened during last year was the grant of the exploration licence for the remainder 2/3 of the caldera, primarily this northern area here. And LIO-V considers that area integral part of its future because it contains the bulk of the prospective area, and from our geophysics and other exploration, it contains the main targets that ultimately are going to make this a world-class mining centre. The current Tuvatu resource of just under 1 million ounces sits in the mining lease just in this area here. This is the first time any single company has held the whole volcanic centre under tenure, and it's the first time that we've been able to start systematic exploration in the area. We have about 7 kilometres of strike of prospective target within this caldera. The caldera is about 7 kilometres in diameter. All of the focus to date has been where that yellow area, and that's the area that's been drilled, within roughly just below the centre of the caldera. All the northern part of the caldera hasn't been held by us at all, and we've spent the last 7 years trying to get that ground. But from the south to the north, we have over 30 prospects with plus 5 gram targets, and many of those we've only just been able to get into and start exploring. But the area that's been drilled where the resource is that area in yellow. The important things about alkaline systems is they extend for great depths generally, 1 kilometre, 2 kilometres or more. So currently we've been doing some work to determine the depth extent. We're starting the deep diamond drilling, and we've also completed significant geophysical programs to try and identify deep feeders. One program we finished just prior to Christmas that we're still interpreting the data was the CSAMT, and in the upper image, that's looking at a profile of over 1,000 metres deep, and we're seeing these feeder zones into the system that extend to 1,000 or to at least to the bottom of the data. We're seeing several of these from the geophysical survey we completed, and these are all in this additional area that we've just acquired to the north. We've also started a deep drilling program. You can see the Tuvatu resource there. In places it only goes down to 100, 150 metres, in other places 350 to 400 metres, depending, and the only thing that confines the resource is the extent of the drilling. But we started a deep drilling program late last year, and just before Christmas we announced the results of the first drill hole, which identified 3 main zones. The bottom zone of 4.29 at 33 grams is about 70 metres below the previous drilling in that area. And we're about 750 metres down on the next hole. Regarding Tuvatu and alkaline deposits, it's the first time that there's been systematic exploration within this caldera. All other strongly mineralised alkaline projects around the world are held by majors. This is the only one held by a junior. We have existing about 1 million ounce resources, and we're starting to carry out very systematic exploration in the area to try and identify the multi-million ounces. As some of the majors who have visited have said, this looks like a 10 to 20 million ounce province. So we want to try and prove up that this is one of these very large multi-million ounce provinces. We have a very experienced team. Wally Burkoff, the founder of the company, has found a number of companies which identified there. A lot of you might know Wally. And we have a very experienced technical team with a long history of success, as well as a lot of very experienced local geologists. I guess the game changers in 2019 was the realisation of the significance of the large alkaline gold systems and the fact that they invariably end up being 10 to 20 million ounces or more. The consolidation of the entire NAVILAWA caldera, so we have the upper 2/3 of the caldera that we didn't have before. The commencement of the ramping up of exploration, particularly the deep drilling and the geophysics, and also the acquisition of our own diamond drill rigs in Fiji, and the commissioning of the building and the commissioning of the world-class geochemical laboratory, because there's no other geochemical laboratories in Fiji. So in summary, we're in a premier location in a very positive mining jurisdiction. We have about $17 million in the cash. We have a tier 1 asset, a very strongly mineralised alkaline hosted gold deposit. We own a world-class laboratory and our own drill rigs, and we're fully permitted, so we can literally start mining tomorrow. We have everything in place to start mining. So thank you very much for that.